Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, I'm up in the second food forest, actually at the top of the property near the main road. And about 3 weeks ago, I think it was around November 9th, I posted a video. Well, I didn't post the video. I recorded the first part of this video going over taking some of the potted plants that I had been saving and potentially selling, and they were raspberries, blackberries, currants, and a few other species as well. And I needed to get those pots, get those plants into the ground, or put them in a location which would survive the winter. So right behind me is one of the spots that I put some of the raspberry plants. So I'll turn the camera around. So here are some of the red raspberry plants that we have right along the swale system. Step over the mound here. So here's a swale system, and in a future video I'll go over why I wouldn't do it exactly the way that I've done it here. And again, I was too busy doing construction and doing various other jobs on the property this year, so I did not get to prune these or weed some of these goldenrod and other various weeds that are in here in the area. So this mound goes all the way around and wraps around way over there by pond 2, and we get tons of berries off of these plants. As far as raspberries go, I think this year we probably only harvested less than 1% of the berries that were produced. We really had a gangbuster fruit production. And again, this is one of those areas that's fed by the swale systems and the hugelkultur pits below the ground, so there's no irrigation in this area. But I had more raspberries, and so I removed one of the trees that was here and put them in here, and I extended and replanted one of the areas that the deer had harvested so many of the raspberry plants from out back. Hopefully in the next week, if the weather holds out, now it's December 2nd, 2017 right now, I'll be able to get in here and do a little bit of work in here. If I can't, maybe next spring I'll just come through and just mow everything down and start over in this area. It's worked out really great in the past, but again, the thing I'll mention is right next to the swale there, I don't feel comfortable with people walking on that side who don't have really good balance at all, and they could potentially slip down into the swale area and twist an ankle. So I'm fine with walking along there, but it's not an easy place to get in and mow down alongside of and all, and I don't mow very often, as you can see. So here we are up here in the front where, not the front, but up where the composting area is, where I've made so many videos. And what I've done is I've taken some of the compost here that's remaining that I won't be using until next year. Now ideally, this compost pile should be covered. However, because I have all the plants around the base, I'm not going to cover it up. So I think I've got a gooseberry over here. Here are many of the thornless, semi-erect blackberry bushes here. Then over here, these are a whole variety of the whole mess of our black currants. And as you can see, I just put the soil around the base of them, brought the soil out a little ways away from it, and probably the currants will survive without any problems. Up here, the deer will come in and eat. They don't necessarily chew down all of the currants. They love getting the blackberries, and they love the raspberry plants as well. So we'll see how many of these will be available next spring to expand our gardens up front. So I just wanted to finish the video that I started a few weeks ago, showing those plants that were over in the area that was a makeshift nursery area, getting those plants some of them out of their pots and into the ground, like the raspberries in 3 different locations. And not having the time or the spots available to get these into the ground, I wanted to show you how I'm going to try and overwinter them this year next to the compost pile, which has already been composted. So there isn't a lot of heat being generated, although lots of microbial activity still in there. That's why we would want to keep it covered. But for right now, it's the best option that I have. I've covered with wood chips in the past and leaves, and between the wildlife that get into the plants and dig down through the chips and the leaves, and the harsh cold winters we have here, well, I had a not so great a success rate keeping them alive in the spring. So just wanted to give you a heads up on what we've been doing recently. I'm sorry with the camera here. I hope you folks have a wonderful day. Give us a thumbs up if you think this was of value. I hope to be producing more videos as the weather gets worse over the winter time and I have to go inside and do some of the other projects. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.